What's good, YouTube? My name is Kenny J, and this is KennyJTV. We are back at it again with another great insurance video, and as you can tell by the title, this is about Kaplan. I want to say starting out, this is not a Kaplan endorsed video. Kaplan did not tell me to do this video, but I wanted to share my experience on how Kaplan helped me become a licensed insurance agent. So when I was looking for different classes, online and in class, to take my pre-licensure course, I was like, where do I want to go, right? So I was looking at, it was exam, FX, Kaplan, and then because of COVID and all this crazy stuff going on, there was no in-class courses going on. So I had an interview with the company I'm with now. Shout out to my boss, hopefully she's watching this. And she recommended Kaplan. I got a nice discount through them, and the rest is history. So I know about Kaplan through different people. Some of my friends are like nurses that took the NCLEX and studied through Kaplan. Then I have some other friends that are like teachers and took like the praxis or whatever you call it through Kaplan. I knew that Kaplan was a very legitimate study tool, so I was like, you know, might as well give it a try. And also, I am not the best test taker. I'm gonna say that up front. So I needed something that I knew would help me and make sure that I passed the test, because I didn't wanna keep sitting for the test, keep failing, spending this money, and not really getting any outcome from it. So with the discount that I got from my boss, it was about $105 for property and casualty, and then a separate $105 for life and health. So if you get it without the discount, it's about $130. I don't think that's a bad deal. So together it was about $210 for all of my pre-licensure courses. I got the most inexpensive version of it. So they have the self-taught one, which was $130. Then they had other ones that had like a classroom through a webcam, and then they had like tutors that you could be able to reach out to. But I was like, I'm gonna spend the least amount of money as possible and going to get these licenses, because I feel like if you want it bad enough, you can get it. So I did the self-taught course. I was a little nervous at first, but I was like, you know what? I gotta make it happen. This is what I want to do as a career, so it is what it is. The quizzes after every chapter are very helpful, kind of gauges where you are and what you need to study on. As well, every chapter at the end, they have something called a cram sheet. So it's basically the key points of the chapter in 1 to 3 pages. So honestly, that's what I base most of my flashcards off of. You know, like I said in my other video, flashcards are my best friends. I had over like 500-600 flashcards that I always studied with, helped me a lot to pass the test. So definitely, if you do use Kaplan, base the flashcards off of the cram sheets. And also, besides the end of the chapter quiz, they also had a checkpoint quiz. So you had to get an 80 or better in order to pass the checkpoint quiz. So I thought that was really cool. It kind of points out to you what you did wrong or what you need to work on. So a lot of times, if I did not get that 80% or higher on the checkpoint exam, it would tell me what sections I need to study. I would go back, review those sections. You can't retake the checkpoint exam, which is something that I didn't like about the checkpoint exams, but it kind of still gauges you on where you need to be and where you are at the moment. One thing that I really appreciate in Kaplan also was definitely the information. It was very straightforward. Granted, it was a lot of reading. I'm not the biggest bookworm in the world, but it definitely was straight to the point. It was maybe one section that I was a little confused on. I had a little trouble with like homeowners insurance and dwelling policy, like the difference. But besides that, everything else was pretty much straightforward. It kind of lays it out in black and white, which I really appreciate. So honestly, reading the information, I didn't really have too many questions outside of the material. Kaplan also provides something called a Q bank, which is pretty much a question bank. Every chapter you have a bank of questions, and you can combine them with other chapters. And that's really how I passed my insurance state exam, because honestly, you're training your brain to grasp the concepts rather than memorize the different definitions of the chapters. So every time I would finish a chapter, I would add on the next chapter to my question bank and make it a bigger test every time. So when it was time for me to take the test, the day before, I was literally in the Q bank clicking chapters that I didn't feel 100% confident on, and just testing myself. And I feel like that was the key factor in my success to passing the state exam. And I will say that certain questions on the test I saw directly in my Q bank. So it may have been they changed a number or two, but everything was exactly the same on some of those questions. Now, I will say there were some questions that I literally did not remember reading in Kaplan or wasn't tested on, but when I went back and looked into the chapter, it was there. So I will say one thing that I was kind of nervous about was being able to differentiate the very important information from the information you can just skim over. But to keep it 100% with you guys, everything is 100% important. Do not think that, oh, I don't need that, or I don't need that. Everything in the course is very pertinent, very important information that you should definitely study, go over until you're blue in the face, honestly. Last thing that stood out to me in Kaplan was the certification exam and the mastery exam. So you had to take the mastery exam first after you finish all the sections, and it gauges you. You have to get an 80 or above, and they say if you get an 80 or above, you are ready to sit for the state exam. So I got an 84 on my first one. I was super hyped, and I was like, cool. So after you take that exam, you have one more exam to take, which is the certification exam. So in order to get your certification saying that you passed the pre-licensure course, you have to pass the certification exam. Now, you do have unlimited times to take the exam. You have to get an 80 or above, but when you do pass, they do give you a certificate saying congratulations, this is your certificate of completion, and then you of course present that when you go to sit for the test. All in all, I would give Kaplan definitely an 8.5 out of 10. It was a great program, great pre-licensure course in order to pass the exam. I did pass all my exams, not the first time, but Kaplan definitely prepared me, I think, in the best way. I'm not the best test taker, as I said, but I feel like Kaplan set me up for success. So if you're looking to sit for the insurance state exam, any other state exam, I would definitely highly recommend Kaplan. Great program. Drop your comments below on who you took for your test. Let me know how they helped you or how they didn't help you, and if you ever use Kaplan. Thank you so much for watching this video on how Kaplan is as a study tool. Again, my name is Kenny J. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, always subscribe. Hit that bell for my latest notifications. Every week, we're dropping a video, Thursdays at 6 o'clock. My name is Kenny J, and this is KennyJTV.